Hi, and welcome to Astro Bites for Sunday, the 1st of September 2024. Whoa, well, this is a very big and important day astrologically. Now, many of you probably know I'm doing my live stream tonight, Central European time at 6 o'clock Central European Daylight Time for the month ahead of September, including the week ahead. It'll probably be nearly an hour long because there is a lot to talk about, and I'm just going to touch the surface of it in the Astro Bite this morning because there is so much happening. And I do have a word for the day, which will come after I've done the astrological bit. And I've got a nice positive one for the start of the month. So let me go to the chart because it's a really big, powerful, important day. Okay. Well, today, the moon is still in Leo and Mercury, which has been retrograde and is now moving direct in Leo, is going to has already been conjunct the moon, and the moon is now moving beyond Mercury. So it could be that late Friday into early Saturday, some resolution came with regards to communication that was a little bit overdue. And it's feels as if it's about going back over something that needed to be looked at with the T's and the I's dotted, because remember, we've got the sun in Virgo, and the sun is our soul, our heart. It's our life force, and I think it's so important to be aware of where and what our life force is doing. So what is so important about today? Well, there's two things, and actually, depending where you are on the planet, will determine whether they happen today or on the 2nd. So, I've got the chart set up for London, and at 23:58 London time, Pluto, our planet of transformation, change, and big stuff, big stuff, that has been retrograde in Aquarius, moves back into Capricorn. Oh my God, is this big stuff? We've been waiting for this. It's going to be at this degree till it goes direct again, which I think is, I can't remember, I think it's October. And then it moves finally to move in November on the 19th, 20th, back into Aquarius for the next 20 years. This is so big. And we are going to experience over the next 2 to 3 months extraordinary change that I think we've all been sensing, that has been building up, that we've all felt a kind of collective anxiety about, and we are going to see huge structural change in large communities, governments. Pluto's got to tidy up. What is so fascinating is that it's coinciding with Uranus in Taurus, our planet of shocks, the unexpected, surprises, going retrograde today in Taurus. I mean, you couldn't make it up. This energy is awesome. And because of that, it means that Pluto and Uranus are not exact, but they are trining each other, which means that the changes that Pluto wants to complete, that come under the domain of Capricorn, which would be government, companies, institutions, law courts, army, anything to do with the sort of civil service, anything like that, that the changes will be beneficial. They will be long overdue. Uranus is coming in and sweeping the way clear to allow these changes to come in. And not only that, Uranus is squaring today the moon in Leo, in the final degrees of Leo. It's at 28 degrees. It's only happening, this square, while as Pluto moves back into Capricorn, but it's a point in time. So it's super exciting because you've got this square from Uranus to the moon, which is kind of like saying, oh my God, there is going to be stuff coming out, because the moon and Mercury are in the third house of communication in Leo. We're going to hear talk today from leaders, world leaders, even a shocking talk. Even though it's a Sunday, something is brewing. It's going to be Sunday, Monday. We're going to hear stuff coming out, things being revealed, secrets being revealed, because that Neptune is sextiling Pluto. Pluto can now fully activate the energy of Neptune and say, come on, open up that Pandora's box. Let's see what's really in it, because this is what needs to come out. And Saturn retrograde in Pisces, in the 10th house of this event chart, is kind of saying, okay, we've got a bit of time, but time is running out. It's like it's going tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Things have to change. It's like, if we bring this down to a personal level, there may be certain changes that you know you need to make in your life, and you may be dragging your heels, procrastinating, overthinking things because of that sun in Virgo. And okay, you've got a bit of time, because I think by the time the sun moves into Libra, then you will find the balance and the ability to weigh up the pros and cons to step forward. So I'm not going to say too much about this energy now, because I'm going to talk about it in more depth later. But it is massive energy. And so, you know, I do think we'll feel it today. I really feel we will feel a kind of, it feels like, you know, when you have an abscess and finally, and it hurts so much, you know, you get one of those horrible boils or spots and it hurts so much, it's so painful. Finally, it goes, it releases, the poison comes out. Now, I think poison might be revealed today, and some of it we're not going to like. Let's move on to the word for the day, because, as I said, we have a very positive word for the day, which we haven't really looked at, which is, and let's put it into two words, being successful. What does success mean for you? How do you rate success? How do you view it? Are you a hard taskmaster with yourself? Are you never satisfied with what you've achieved? Are you always striving for the next goal? Are you always next eventing? Are you not living in the present? You know what they say, if we're living in the past, we're depressed. If we're living in the future, we're anxious. But when we stay in the present, actually, life's fine, because everything is okay. There's actually nothing wrong at this moment in time. And being successful is a state of mind. It's about striving for your goals, and it's also about setting realistic goals, because what happens sometimes is we have such big goals that we make it too difficult for us to achieve it. And sometimes that's because we are perhaps following the path or the direction that somebody else has suggested would be good for us, like a parent, a teacher, a career advisor, and we've thought, yeah, that would be really good. I'd make lots of money if I go into law, or if I work as a teacher or a doctor, I'll make lots of money, or I'll be quite, it's secure. I'll get a good pension. But you know what? Success comes most easily when we're passionate about what we're doing. If you're passionate, you get up on a Sunday at 5 o'clock if you want and work for what it is that you are desperately trying to achieve. So being successful is actually about choosing realistic goals. Once you choose realistic goals, like let's say you want to write a book, well then you don't just sit down and think, right, chapter 1, and then you think, oh, I don't really know what I want to write about. No, we have to have some kind of structure and plan. So with any kind of movement towards achievement and success, we have to have a plan and a structure and a list. So we have to use some of that Sun in Virgo energy to make that list and think, well, how can I achieve maybe just a little thing? Because often, if say you wanted to write a book, then buy a big folder and have your pieces of paper that you have collated and gathered, or if it's on an iPad or your laptop or desktop, make a folder, a file. My book. You don't even have to give it a title. Doesn't matter about the title. That'll become clear once you're writing it, because once you start writing, then the book will write itself, and you have to kind of be clear about what it is you want to write about. Is it fiction, self-development, self-help, or fact, or history, or accountancy? Well, we are in Virgo season at the moment. Anyway, so remember, success is about taking easy little steps. If you just do one little thing every day towards your goal, you can think, okay, I'm not at my goal yet, but I did do that one thing. I opened up a folder on my laptop that said my book, and I made a few notes about what I think the content should be. So it's interesting I'm talking about this today because the Moon and Mercury are in the 3rd house of communication. So of course it is about writing. Mercury is about writing. And maybe you are trying to write something and you have the ideas, and Mercury going direct again is actually giving you that impetus to move forward. So that's today's word for you to ponder upon. And I have a quote, and this is by Sir Winston Churchill, the late Prime Minister who got the UK through World War II and probably Europe. Anyway, what he said was, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. I think that's quite lovely. And on that note, I'll say, have a fabulous day. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye for now.